Hi, you guys. I hope you're having a great day. Hola, muchachos, ¿cómo están? Disculpen que nuestro tiempo nos atrasamos un poquito. Tuve problemas técnicos. Hoy quise grabar desde acá afuera de mi casa. La vista que quería no me tocó muy bien porque la luz no era buena. El ángulo no me salió tan bien. Anyways, I wanted to record outside. It's a beautiful day. We've had some amazing days so far. You might hear some dogs barking from our neighbor, or I don't know, some other form of nature's noises. But I had a different angle, which I wanted to show off my tree, but the lighting wasn't that great. And so let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off by saying thank you so very much for those of you who submitted your projects. Aquellos que han entregado sus proyectos, estoy impresionada con algunos de los trabajos que han hecho. I am totally stoked and impressed with some of that work that you have been submitting. It is amazing. Thank you for sharing your research results. Gracias por aquellos que están compartiendo, han compartido sus historias, me han conmovido bastante. Excelente trabajo. If you have not seen your, wait, someone said hola. I'm saying hola to Humberto right now. If you have not seen your final grade, that's because we have not inputted your project. So as soon as I input the project in, you should see your final grade. En cuanto ponga el proyecto, vas a ver tu calificación del semestre. También le voy a agregar los créditos extras. So I'll be adding all those extra credits. Remember, you still have 2 more weeks of being able to obtain 10 points per day of extra credit. Tomorrow's activity is going to be worth 40 points. So for the rest of the week, I'm going to give you the time to do it. But today's activity is 10 points. So let's go ahead and get started. Vámonos con la actividad del día de hoy. I will be sharing my screen. It's a little bit different because I'm going to do a little bit of teaching towards the end of the video. All right, vamos con la actividad del día de hoy. La actividad del día de hoy es la actividad número 9. So it's activity number 9. And it goes as follows. So you're going to describe what the following people are doing. Vas a describir qué están haciendo las siguientes personas. Let's go to our screen. Here we go. Okay. So, actividad número 9 es describe lo que están haciendo estas personas ahorita. You're going to be describing what these individuals or these people are doing at the present moment. Remember, when you are submitting these activities, make sure you state that it's activity 9 so that I'm able to give you points for that activity. Recuerda que hay que poner o especificar qué es la actividad número 9 cuando estamos haciendo esa actividad. Okay? So, ¿qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo tú? ¿Qué está haciendo señora Berumen? What do you think señora Berumen is doing right now? ¿Qué están haciendo o tu hermano, tu hermana? Si no tienes hermano o hermana, puede ser tu primo o puede ser tu mascota, it could be your dog. So, ¿qué estás haciendo tú y alguien más? ¿Y qué están haciendo tus amigos en este momento? So we are describing, I have a typo. We are describing what you are doing, what Señora Berumen is doing, what your brother, sister, if you don't have a brother or sister, your dog or pet, another individual, what you and someone else are doing at this very moment, and then what your friends are doing. So it is worth 10 points to answer in complete sentences. They must be your original sentences. If you don't want to write, you can definitely do a mini video, and there's a whole bunch of different platforms that you can submit it in. If you're submitting it on a Google document, just copy and paste the link on the comments for today, and then I will reach out to it. So if you want to earn 5 extra credit points, you can add a picture of what is happening. So let's say that I am going to be describing what I am doing today. And I want to earn my 5 extra credit points. I will bring in my image. Yo estoy bebiendo agua. This activity is happening right now. Okay, so again, this is the activity. It is due tomorrow. You can also email it to me if you want. And as always, if someone has not told you today that you are loved, I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to hear about your day. Let us move on to our lesson. So if you are logging off, or if you are no longer looking at the rest of the video. Please make sure that you submit it by tomorrow 8 p.m. If you know someone who has not submitted their project, remind them to submit it. Okay, let's move on to our lesson. Vamos a entrar a la segunda parte, y la segunda parte es la lección. So we will talk about something called the present progressive, which is how you will be able to describe what someone is doing right now. So I'm going to move to my screen, and I have my pizarra today. So my whiteboard today is going to be a Google document. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So we said that in Spanish, the ending of a verb, a conjugated verb, will tell us three things. It's going to tell us who is doing the action, when they're doing the action, and how many people are doing the action. Nos va a decir tres cosas cuando conjugamos un verbo. ¿Quién está haciendo la acción? ¿Cuándo está ocurriendo la acción? ¿Y cuántas personas? Una persona o más de una. ¿Okay? Y dijimos que los verbos pueden terminar en AR, the end in AR. Escribes la palabra hablar, le quitas el final, que es el AR, y te va a quedar la palabra habla. Okay, so you are going to be left with habla as your root. These are your endings for AR verbs, o, as, a, amos, an. Just add it in there, and you have your new word. So this ending right here tells us who's doing the action, yo. How many people are doing the action, one person. And when is it happening? Present tense. This ending right here tells us who's doing the action. Oh, I did a mistake right here. This is nosotros. Okay, so who's doing the action? Myself and someone else. So we are doing the action. When? Right now. How many? Myself and someone else. So it's plural. Okay, the endings for, let me just change these. ER verbs is o, es, e, hemos, en, beber, bebo, bebes, bebe, bebemos, beben. IR, it looks exactly the same as ER verbs with the exception of imos. And so this word, let's say, we want to say we live. Right now we live in Los Banos. Yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, nosotros vivimos, ellos viven. So again, the endings of a conjugated verb tell us who's doing the action, when they're doing it, and how many. So how do we express when someone's doing the action right now? It's an ongoing action. It's called the present progressive. We are going to need two parts to it. We're going to need estar, and we're also going to need our next verb. So our first verb is going to be. Now this verb to be is irregular in English and in Spanish. I say something like I am, you are, he is. I don't say I is Cruz. I would say I am Cruz. So the verb to be in English is irregular. It doesn't stay within the pattern, so it breaks the rules. Same thing in Spanish. So let's go ahead and conjugate the present tense verb estar. Vamos a conjugar el verbo estar. Es irregular, así como en inglés. Okay, so to conjugate, we are going to get rid of the ending. And we're going to be left with est, right? And we're going to add our endings. So if I want to say I am, in Spanish is going to be estoy. If you want to say you are, in Spanish is going to be estás. Notice it has an accent mark. That's why it's irregular for that one. If it's he, she, or you formal, or your dog or something, a third person, it's going to be está. For nosotros, myself and someone else included, estamos, we do not accent that verb. And then for them, or you all, están. So for this type of verb, present progressive, for this tense, you will need a form of estar, a conjugated form of estar, and then you need a second verb. And in English, It's called the present progressive also, and it's our form of ing in English. So the present progressive is to be doing something right now. Okay, so present participles in Spanish, they express like continuous ongoing actions. It's happening right now. Our endings in English are ing. In Spanish, it's going to be ando and yendo. So you need a form of estar and you need a form of ando o yendo. Okay, if the verb ends in AR, you're going to add ando. So hablar would turn like this. Estar, and then it's hablando. How about I do the different one? And I am going to change the color so you can see the difference. So hablando. Beber is going to be beb, because I get rid of the ER. And then yendo. Vivir, get rid of the IR, and then I add yendo, viviendo. Okay, but I can't say estar hablando. That just means to be talking. If I want to say that I am talking or someone else is talking, we have to remember that we have to use a form of estar. Estoy hablando. If I want to say they are talking, I will use están hablando. Okay, or estás bebiendo. So for today's activity, you are going to be looking at the 5 different people that we stated, and you're going to be adding or describing what they're doing right now. Now, ojo, there are some irregular ones that we have in Spanish. The irregulars usually are the ER and IR verbs that their stem endings are in a vowel. Okay, so when we drop the ER, IR, if their ending is in a vowel, we have to change the I to a Y because we don't like to have 3 vowels put together in Spanish. And also the real reason is to get rid of the I because it's a weaker vowel. So caer, which means to fall, if we don't change it, it's going to say cayendo. Okay, so you see how we have 3 vowels? We have A, I, and E. Cayendo, cayendo. So because we don't want to say that, we're going to change that I to a Y, and it's cayendo. Same thing happens with leer. Leyendo. So we have 3 vowels. E, I, and then again an E. So we change the I to a Y, and it's leyendo. Creer is creyendo. Oír, oyendo is not correctly done. So it is oyendo. And then destruyendo. It also happens with some stem changers that go from E to an I, or E to IE, O to U. So decir would not be diciendo, estoy diciendo. That means I am saying, but it's not written correctly. There has to be a change from the E to an I, so it's diciendo. Just like in English, you would say, in Spanish, you would say yo digo. The E changes to an I, so same thing here. Some other examples of verbs that take that same action are going to be hervir, which is to boil. So you might be expressing that someone in your household is boiling eggs for your activity today. Medir, to measure. Sentir, to feel. It also occurs with verbs like dormir. The O goes to you. So you would not say dormiendo, you would say durmiendo. Okay, so there are some examples there. All right, so that's the present progressive. I hope you enjoy your day. Have fun today. And then remember, this activity is not due till tomorrow at 8 p.m. Make sure you state which activity it is so I can give you the points. If I missed giving you some points on any activity, please resubmit it or just send me an email or some sort of communication. Thank you so very much. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I will see you. Adios.